A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Hey, everybody. Thank you for listening to another edition of For Light and Dice. We continue our story, and this is actually going to be the last chapter in our Heroes and Two Worlds mini arc. To kick things off, we head back to Naboo, where Lysander and Wynn are being questioned by the Jedi. Yeah. So meanwhile, back in Naboo, the two Jedi speaking with Lysander and Wynn. The Rhodian says, I'm sure I'm sure you have figured out by now that the ship you possess is not merely just a ship, but a droid."
Plausible deniability once again requires me to phrase this as that may be something that potentially is under investigation.
It's a spy vessel of sorts. They were designed to wander into Republic space and gather information and data. You possess one of these models, and it more than likely believes it is still on its mission.
If we possessed one of those models, that would very likely be the case, yes.
Yeah, and if we did, is there a way to turn that off?
Hypothetically, if we were to have this incredibly dangerous and borderline illegal piece of technology that we can't get rid of despite our best efforts, would we know how to handle that, or...
The Force is not clear, but I will tell you, if you follow its path, it may be very dangerous for you all.
Man, I wish the Force were like a search engine or something on the HoloNet that you could just plug the questions into, like, ask a droid. No, that's not how the Force works. Okay.
That's not how the Force works.
What else do you potentially know about a ship that we may be in possession of?
Well, I can tell you that its creators were at one time well-intentioned, but then they were overrun, taken over, enslaved, as a matter of fact. Their own technology used against them. And this ship means no good to anyone but its master, who's long gone.
Who was its master?
They look at each other and they say, "Such knowledge is forbidden to share outside of the Jedi Order."
At that moment, I would imagine that Wynn's datapad dings.
Yeah.
And they look down at it and kind of frown for a minute. Do I know anything about Zakul?
Make a history roll. That's going to be a hell of a DC, though.
Is it going to be a lore roll?
Yeah, lore.
7.
Never heard of it.
Wynn kind of taps the data pad for a minute and then says, Zero sending nonsense into the group chat again. And they kind of angle the data pad over so Lysander can look at the message that Zero sent.
Okay. Has Lysander read anything about Zakul?
Lore.
Okay. Frick, what is my...
Would there be advantage since Lysander comes from wild space?
I'll allow that.
14?
I'll allow that. You have advantage.
Oh. Advantage. 16?
Given that Zakul was, at least in the timeline of the Old Republic game, in control for about 10 years, 3,000 years ago, I fully believe this would not have been taught in an introductory course.
That's fair.
Meanwhile, back on Yagdul, Gaz is hanging out with the Squonk in the shipyard.
Currently, like, Gaz is just sitting on the bench watching the squonk get worked on, eating, and it's just like, talk to me too about whatever you want to talk about. Just tell me things.
Two says, I wonder how my other is doing.
I'm sure one is going to be okay. Are you nervous about him?
No,
Do you miss them?
we explode all the time.
Oh,
Yeah, you do. Is it fun to explode?
No.
Well, if you don't like it so much, do you want us to try and fix that?
That is our purpose.
What do you mean it's your purpose?
We can cause each other to explode.
Oh, for fun?
No, for a purpose.
What's the purpose? Just is it a purpose that we give you?
Our programming gives us purpose. There were more of us once.
that's so
I know,
odd.
right? But also kind of poignant. She was like, "Yeah, I get that. Programming gives purpose." Are you the last
Okay,
two?
yeah.
We are.
Well, we will not tell you to explode unless we'd rather you not explode then. Tell me about colors. What do you like about colors?
Oh my goodness. Colors are everywhere. And he goes on a long rant that is very nonsensical about his favorite colors, which he can't decide which one it is.
And she encourages the conversation while eating her lunch, watching the squonk get painted.
Meanwhile, back on Naboo.
Yeah. And Lysander, when seeing Zero's message in the group chat, does recognize the name Zakul from hearing stories about it out in wild space. It's just like, tries to whisper to Win, like, Win, I don't think Zero's sending nonsense.
Wynn takes a little bit of a breath and looks over at the Jedi and says, I would like to make a small deal.
Interesting.
An arrangement, an understanding, if you will.
All right.
That, whatever we tell you in this off-the-record meeting, or the information we share between us, that information will not be used to apprehend us or our colleagues, to take us back to the Jedi Temple or any other Jedi facility to be interrogated. Can we agree that we're on the same side here and there's no need for anyone to be arrested, impounded, or otherwise disappeared by the ancient order of magic space wizards?
The Jawa Jedi starts sputtering off, and the Rhodian puts his hands up and waves them and says, yes, I know Master Geos wouldn't appreciate this. But very well. In the interest of being honest and transparent with each other.
Great. So, this word Zakul here, does that mean anything to y'all?
His eyes open up wide and he looks completely surprised. I've underestimated you all.
It tends to happen a lot. We're used to it.
How do you know this?
Well, apparently, it's being asked of us if we know anything by some of our associates. I thought it was a nonsense word, and they look over at Lysander, but apparently it's not, and your reaction has confirmed that for me.
Well, yes, that is the system that your droid ship has come from.
Great. That sounds like a lovely place, full of rainbow fountains and beautiful gardens, and definitely not a theocratic, technological hellscape.
Well, it's mostly gone at this point, and it's impossible to reach. So, I suppose there is no harm in you knowing of the ship's origins.
So that's where the ship is from, huh?
It is the same model and make, according to our records.
They look over at Lysander. Hey, you and the ship are both from Wild Space. That's kind of neat.
That's... To be honest, I had always thought those were just made-up stories, too. But interesting that it's real.
It may as well be a fairy tale at this point.
You could say that it's more expected to be in legends than stories.
Indeed.
Now the real question is it legends or did somebody just make it up?
Well, we will not do anything to your ship, though I would recommend possibly reformatting the system that drives it. But that's not truly the real reason why we're here. I wanted to warn you that you may be being used right now by the Naboo.
What?
This Gungan you interacted with, this Rule Thess, he's a wanted criminal in Naboo.
I mean, man blows up a diner full of people. I'm gonna assume he's a wanted criminal everywhere.
But more so here in this system, he's responsible for many an atrocity. And knowing that he is likely harboring a grudge against you all, I fear that the Naboo are using you.
Are they trying to use us as bait?
Your intuition is strong, Lysander.
I mean, I don't know if that's the Force. It's kind of
Yeah.
a thing that politicians do. Anyway, well, that's great. That's not at all terrifying and alarming, but the Nile are supposed to be, when kind of motions away, out there somewhere. Naboo is a major member of the Republic. Why would the Nile risk coming here just for us?
Then I suspect it's because this Rule Thess is a bit of a different animal. It's entirely possible they believe that he'll come after you regardless of where you are. If he knew where you were. Which is what concerns me.
You think the Naboo told the Nile where we are?
I'm not sure, but I feel that is a strong possibility.
Well, that would explain wanting us to be delayed here.
There is unfortunately nothing that we can do to provide you with protection, but perhaps you should bring this up with the ambassador next time you get a chance to meet with her. As far as we are concerned, this matter is closed. You are nothing more than pawns in a grand scheme.
If we have a situation where we need to defend ourselves, it'd be really helpful in that situation. And Wen kind of puts their hand on Lysander's back and says, if the person who could potentially sense the danger coming knew how to do that.
Lysander, who was messaging in the group chat, looks up like, wait, what?
I'm not saying that the fully grown adult man needs to be trained as a Jedi, because we all know that's not the case. I'm just saying as long as people are here, it would be helpful if at the very least he knew how to tap into all those, and Wen makes the sparkly motions with their hand again, bad feelings.
The Jedi just sighs a bit and just says, the official members of the Jedi Order cannot train you, but I do know someone who could help. I'll reach out to them and let them know, and if they are interested, they'll contact you, Lysander.
Is it another Jedi?
There are different types of Jedi, and some choose not to be part officially of the Order, but they still walk the path.
Sounds like interesting and diverse group of people. Give me 1 second. I'm going to make a personal lore roll to see if I remember something. I do not. Interesting and diverse group of people.
Thank you for being so forthcoming with us. I know it's not easy to be judged so harshly by others, and that is not my intention. Rather, it is to warn you. I know you're going to seek what the ship is telling you to, no matter what we say, so tread carefully. And, Lysander, if you are trained in any way, just remember, the Force will always be with you.
Why is my first thought to have him say, "And I'll still with you"? In confusion.
Wood kind of gives Lysander a kind of a little side eye and then turns back to the Jedi and says, "We are in a dangerous series of situations. My primary concern is keeping the crew safe and making sure we have every advantage. I am not fond of people endangering the lives of their fellow crew members. So, the information that we have exchanged is helpful in that. And for that, when he pauses and says, thank you."
They nod and they simply just say, "We'll show ourselves out."
Wen watches him go, and as soon as the door closes, takes a sip of cap and says, "Well, that went better than I expected."
Yeah, I thought they were going to make us give them the squonk and possibly our good friend Zero.
I do think the squonk would have objected to that, and the squonk has a pretty big gun.
But the gun only works like half the time.
Well, there's a 50-50
Unless the others,
chance.
yeah. Unless the others have fixed that, but
Well, we know what the squonk is to an extent now. We should communicate this information with the others on Yagdul, and I suppose at this point, when sort of pauses, we could go ahead to the rendezvous on Jakku, or we could try to figure out more about this Captain Thess person.
I mean, if there's a way for us to maybe help the ambassador or the people in Naboo catch him so he's no longer chasing us,
Yes,
it would be helpful.
working with the authorities, a thing that I love to do.
Yeah.
I think, and it might be worth killing time if this Jedi outside the Jedi contacts you. Maybe worth doing some stuff while we're here just to buy them a little bit of time. It's gonna be a while before the squonk is ready to meet us on Jakku, so Wen shrugs.
Great. Sightseeing? We told Gauze we'd get her snacks.
I was hoping you would have forgotten about that.
Also, I told Conk I'd get more stickers for them.
I was really hoping you would forget about that. Wynn kind of sighs and goes, okay. Well, I guess we're going to be meeting with the ambassador a little bit later. While we're waiting on that, we might as well scout out the areas between the apartment and the royal palace, and if there's gift shops on the way, we could scout those out as well. Because if I don't show up with at least one novelty t-shirt in an awful neon color, Gauze will kill me.
Awesome. Second to last scene. Back on Yagdul, 0 and 1N, what do y'all do?
I think, did we get a response about Zakul or whatever it's called?
He kind of gave you the hint that it was going to be a while.
No,
From the group chat.
Oh, yeah, on the group chat, yeah.
Prior, or rather after their conversation in the kitchen, prior to leaving, Wynn would have messaged that Zakul was a name that was known to the Jedi. It is apparently where the Squonk is from. Lysander has heard some stories about it, but not many, and we are currently seeking more information on other matters and does not have time to go into those details.
Okay.
Zero remarks.
This is all done in completely lowercase with no punctuation.
Yeah, 0 remarks. Wow, that's the longest message Wynn has ever sent.
I am shocked.
Okay. Well, we're just in the library, so actually I don't know how helpful it would be to go looking for more information on these guys.
Okay.
So I don't know. I guess we go check back up on Gaz and the ship. I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure nothing bad happened, but
Definitely.
Yeah.
might as well go just to make sure the Squonk didn't enslave the shop.
And Gaz, can you make a perception roll really quick?
Oh no. Is it a hearing or sight perception?
Yes, it's sight perception.
Ooh, then I get advantage. +4, okay. 18?
You notice that the installation's happening right in front of you. The droids that are responsible for painting the outside of the ship temporarily stop, and they gyrate a little bit, and then they start moving again. And instead of them just like refreshing the paint of the ship, they start painting the outside black and start lining the ship in gold trim.
I didn't pay for that. She just gets up and just is walking over. Excuse me, droids?
One of the droids that you submitted the order with floats up to you. Yes.
That is not the paint scheme that we agreed to.
He takes out a pad and checks it, and then flips it around to you. I'm sorry, but this is exactly what you ordered, according to our system.
She just looks at it. What does it say?
It says black with gold trim. Spruce up the Squonk painting. Make it more red.
Can you tell them to pause, please?
I can try. He floats over.
To come with. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and the droid stops a little bit and gyrates and floats back over to you and just says, "Hi, how can I help you?"
She kind of narrows her eyes and just looks at the Squonk like, "What are you doing?" To shut down for a minute.
Okay. It falls on the
She
ground.
just picks up 2, and can she get into the Squonk?
Yeah.
She just goes into the Squonk and just carries 2 inside and just sets 2 down and just goes up to the cockpit. Squonk? Hi. Did you not like the color of the paint we chose you?
The lights on the inside of the cockpit turn red.
Okay. What are you doing? You cannot take over the shop.
Can you make a persuasion
Oh,
roll?
sure. Ooh. Oh, thank goodness. I'm slightly high in persuasion. That's a 12.
The lights go back to normal, and you see the droids on the outside stop moving, and they gyrate a little bit, and you see that the paint is going back to the silver and white paint that was originally on the outside.
And
of
on the
ship.
dashboard, like there's text, right?
Yeah, but it's mostly like control console. It does flicker a little bit when you're talking to it, but it's still in basic.
She just puts a hand on the dashboard. Squonk, can you understand me?
On the console, it says yes
Is your name even?
in text.
Is your name even Squonk?
You just see a line of question marks.
We call you the Phantasmal Squonk because that's what we named you. Is that okay with you?
It says affirmative.
All right. Why did you try to take over the shop?
In text, it says restore to factory settings.
Can you repeat that?
It says the same line, restore to factory settings.
Are you trying to restore the ship to factory settings, or you were restored to factory settings?
Yes.
Okay, I will repeat my question. Were you restored to factory settings?
No.
You're trying to You're trying to return the outside to your factory settings.
Yes.
What does that entail?
Upkeep, appearance, changing system settings, adding additional weapon systems.
We are adding 2 turrets. Is that to your liking?
Yes.
Are you adding anything else?
It doesn't answer.
Squonk? Friend? Because they're sold out of the other things that you wanted. We checked. We checked really hard for you.
Can you make another persuasion roll?
Shit. That is an 18.
It says it will do nothing else other than paint job.
Do you not like the squonk on the side?
No, non-committal.
How about I make a deal with you? I will give... You can choose whatever paint job you want, but you cannot take over the system... where are we? The factory again.
Confirm.
I'm gonna hold you to that. I mean, I have a whole lava lamp in here. We can make you extra funky if you want.
It says negative.
Well, I think it's kind of cheesy too, but the pilot likes it. Do you need anything else, Squonk?
It says complete the mission.
We're working on that, I promise. She kind of picks up the group chat and looks at it and looks at the Squonk. What is the name? Yakul, Zakul, Zakul. Does the word Zakul mean anything to you?
Negative. Memory banks inaccurate.
What happens if we can't complete the mission?
Purpose unfulfilled.
I get that. But can we help you find a new purpose?
Negative. Programming is absolute.
Would you like different programming?
Does not compute.
She kind of puts in the group chat. So, Squonk did not take over the mechanics bay. It is choosing its own paint job, and it does not know what Zakul is. Send.
One types back, you asked the ship about Zakul?
Was I not supposed to win?
Unclear if ship is lying. Would not put it past ship to be lying.
She kind of glares at the dashboard and leans. I'll tell you something, Squonk. I have worked a very long time with very stubborn people. And I would like to know if you're lying to me, and if not, I will accidentally tip over this lovely lava lamp right on your dashboard if you're lying.
Wynn suddenly feels very stressed and cannot explain why.
It's such a shame if it got all up in your dashboard.
On the screen it says deception routine not being applied.
I don't know if you're lying to me or not. Hey, 2, wake up.
It pops up.
Hello!
Are you capable of trying to see if the ship is lying to me?
I don't understand what lying means.
She just picks up her comm. Hey, 1 and 0.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're walking your way. Well, I don't know. How far away would you say we are by now, Chris?
I don't think you're that far at all.
Yeah, we're approaching the shop. Everything okay?
Yeah. I'm just not sure if the Squonk's lying to me or not.
Oh, I
do
have no
not-
idea of knowing that. It's not very nice to me most of the time.
Okay, so it's not just me.
No, I mean, no, and it's not nice to win. The only person it seems to have had any sort of positive interaction with is 1N, so I'm not entirely sure how we determine if it's lying or not.
Though I would like to say that the things that I was able to get the Squonk to accomplish was mainly due to me annoying it.
Cool, thank you. And she just hangs up and just looks at the Squonk. Let's make something clear. We're here to help each other. Okay? We will take very, very good care of you if you take very good care of us.
Affirmative.
And kind of looks up at 2. I have a bad feeling this ship's gonna space us one day.
Is it Wednesday yet?
Am I right? I don't really know what to accomplish here, so she kind of just gets up and she just kind of goes back over to the door and looks at the other droids to see if they're kind of still weird or...
No, they're working normally. And looking out the window, you actually see 1N and 0 walking up.
Just kind of like looking around the mechanic shop, kind of looking at like other droids, like not on our ship, but other places, just to see... Because I'm assuming there's other ships in the shop, right?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of other ships being worked on and such. And no, you don't. I mean, from what you can tell, there's no other strange activity. Everything's working the way it should. Yeah, you see other droids installing pieces, fixing hulls, and whatnot.
Is there visible damage to the ship? Has that been repaired by the time?
They are fixing a little dent in the hull right now. Yes.
Okay.
What Ed just assumes that was just like missed in the original like go through of the ship heads on in.
Yeah, I don't think 0 actually cares, so I think they'll walk inside too.
Hi, you two.
Hello.
Hello.
So, the Squonk tried to take over the shop. I think I avoided it, but I don't know for sure.
Well, hey, at least we can predict some things accurately.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And I'm pretty sure it's lying to me right now. So, I get you guys. I get you. I see what you feel.
The good news is, while the given individual was not able to tell us exactly how we could get to the location, he said he could communicate to a contact that might be able to do that. So
Oh. What's the contact's name?
that was not information that was provided.
Oh, do we just need to pay him more? Like,
No, he really didn't want to say his name. But he also said So 1N asked for a planet of origin, and weirdly, for a navigator, he didn't know that. He said, like, he didn't think he had one, that he just stayed on a ship. So I don't know if that means this person just, like, appeared spontaneously, not on a planet. Yeah, apparently this person does not leave their ship ever.
they might be traders. Like, a lot of traders are nomadic, so they don't really have a place of origin. So that's not too crazy.
This is true.
Sketchy, though. If he didn't actually tell you that, that means it's probably not that, though. That feels sketchy.
I suppose we will find out soon enough.
Well, I guess we should return back to our nice hotel, though I kind of don't want to leave the squonk by itself. Overnight.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be a great idea. Also, what are they doing to the outside? Like, it looks more like there's painting going on. I don't remember us. Did we agree to painting?
The squonk chose that.
Oh. Yeah, it's very dark, so that makes sense.
Yeah, though I guess it will help us hide in space.
Yeah, that tracks.
Sure.
Look, I don't know how space works. It's dark. So. But yeah, I'm a little worried. The squonk. You don't think there's anything here the squonk wants? Like those parts that we are sold out on?
I do not believe so.
I'll sleep on the squonk, I guess.
I am fully willing to stay on the squonk if you would like to relax at the hotel.
Yeah, 1N and all of us droids don't require, like, sleep. You can sleep in a more comfortable situation. We can stay here and charge and, like, we don't require comfort.
I don't want to be separated from you two on a weird planet that I don't know very well and be the only one back there, so I'll just stay in my bunk here on the squonk with you.
Yeah, all right.
Awesome. And with that, y'all, that is a good stopping point and exactly where I wanted everything to land.
I don't know.
So awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you for cooperating.
It was fun.
Hey everybody, thank you for listening to another edition of For Light and Dice. We're so excited to have so many people enjoying our show, listening to us and whatnot. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our podcast, leave a review. It really helps with the search algorithm, and also tell your friends about us. We'd love to have more listeners listening to the show. And real quick, the music that you've been hearing sort of kinda in the background for most of these episodes is done by Grushkov. They make a lot of really amazing music, some based in the High Republic. They're also starting to do some other stuff. Definitely recommend checking them out. They make great music. I listen to the music all the time when I go working, so it's totally awesome. Also, if you want to hang out with us between shows, you can hang out with us on Twitter under the @ForLightAndDice handle. Also, we have a Discord. You can grab the link from our Twitter. Also, I think you can search for Light and Dice on Discord and find our community. But we do have a Discord. It's open to everybody. If you just want to hang out with us and are like-minded listeners, please feel free to check that out. Anyway, y'all, next week's episode is going to be totally awesome. We're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm not going to spoil anything, but just look forward to that. And as always, may the Force be with you.